Welcome everybody, welcome back to a new episode of TTI, the Storytime series where I just telling about some random stuff that happened to me. How me do? And in this episode we're talking about the time I drove from New Jersey to Connecticut. It did far, trust me. So it was the summer of 2018. I was working on the work and travel program. I was in New Jersey, South New Jersey, so that's way down in New Jersey. I was working as a front desk agent. Yeah. So when it came time to wrap up everything I finished now, I had to go to my auntie in Connecticut. So I was telling my coworkers and they were like, so why not just drive? But I was thinking I've never driven in America before, never even thought about it. Because I was there booking train rides, booking planes and so on, and I was like, yo, the plane ride hefty, the train just like a bag of work, because it's a bag connection, you have to come off of Philadelphia, you have to do this, you have to do that. So I'm basically lugging around luggage. Luggage. But yeah, I basically would have been lugging around luggage for the entire journey on the train ride. So when my coworkers were telling me now, I was like, oh, I've never done that before. I've never rented a car before. I've never driven in America before. I've never driven that long before. Then I typed in Google Maps, the distance from New Jersey to Connecticut, and it was telling me 4 hours. So I was like, we can stop here, we can stop there, we can vibe, we can listen to some music and thing. Alright. So I go to Enterprise. Enterprise is the car rental station I used. So I went to Enterprise, scheduled an appointment, scheduled the drop-off time, the pickup time, this and that, and we did live. So the day came now, and I left out about 1 o'clock, went to the Enterprise place to pick up the car. It was so easy, hassle-free, everything. Just give them my credit card and then, they put it on it for any incidentals or so on. And I started driving on the road. I typed in my destination in the GPS and I started driving. But before I started driving though, I went to one of my co-workers and I asked her, alright, how's the toll stay? How much money am I gonna need? And so on and so forth. And she's like, oh, you might need just about $15 and change. I'm like, alright, cool. So I gave her $15 and she gave me back some coins, some quarters. So I'm like, alright, cool. So we're ready. Alright, so I'm driving on the road now. It's a little while driving and I'm feeling like the bomb, the boss, everything. Never driven in America before and I'm just feeling lit. I'm just like, hey. It felt nice, honestly. Then the time is passing, I'm listening to music and so on. I'm like, alright, cool, this seems fun. Honestly, throughout the whole entire journey, I was just excited to pass New York because that's one of the reasons why I was like, hey, let me just do it, because I've never been to New York City at this point. So 2018, yeah, I've never been to New York City properly at this point. I've actually visited New York City with some family and they carried me to Chinatown. That's where they carried me, Chinatown. So I don't even count that at this point. So I've never been to New York. So I was excited to just drive past New York to be able to look and be like, hey. And I was even being like, maybe we can drive through it. I go through and I'm like, no. Come back to my senses. I'm like, just think of Kingston, but New York. Kingston times like 1,000. Traffic. You take a 10 hour to enter New York and then take your next 10 hours to think about leaving. So yeah, I was like, alright, we're just gonna drive past. So yeah, driving on the road, finally started to drive past New York. Now looking over there, it was really nice in the skyscrapers and all that. I was like, hey, one day we'll go over there and stuff. So that was a nice experience. But things started to get hairy now when you have all these turns that have to be taken. And basically, a lot of the times the GPS was just giving me the wrong turns. So a lot of the times the GPS is like, alright, stay left. And I'm looking at the GPS and it's saying like Massachusetts Road. So I'm driving now and you have 2 turn off and a straight road. So the straight road is still, I guess, Washington Highway, just to say. So the left that I'm on now, that is going somewhere else and I'm seeing the Massachusetts Road over here. So but the GPS is telling me keep left and I'm like, you sure? And the GPS is like, yeah man, keep left. I'm like, but I'm seeing the sign over there and it's like, we're keep left. So I'm like, alright. And I kept left. I know the GPS is all like, you kinda should have taken the right. I mean, to be honest, like your fault, you did see the sign, and I'm just here like, no worries, just recalculate and give me a different route. So it recalculates now and it gives me different routes and it carry me back on the same path. So now I know, stay on the right side. So right now what I'm doing is I'm looking at on the GPS and I'm reading the signs, because sometimes it's at a left when I right and right when I left. So I have to read to make sure that I'm on the right path. So time passed, and before I left, honestly, I drank a lot, so I want pee. So I saw a pit stop and I stopped at the pit stop. And I just went to the pit stop to use the bathroom and get some more change for the toll and so on. And whenever I stop at the pit stop, I texted my mother. I was like, so I'm on my way to auntie, send this and that, send, love you, send. The thing is, I never told anyone I was driving. I never told anyone everything, not even auntie. Auntie was probably expecting me to take the train, so she was expecting me to reach the train station or something, but I never told anyone. So now I'm just like, back of my head, I'm like, suppose me end up in an accident and then on the roadside and police overtake me. Like, police stop me and shot me. So I'm like, let me text my mother, my father, my auntie be like, almost there, love you, in case me dead. But yeah, so back on the highway now, go through some toll roads and this and that some more. Then I think it was the George Washington Highway that I got on. And I reached the toll and I'm like, the $15 done. And the extra money we get from pit stop, they done. So I'm like, I never knew that there was one more. And in this one, I can't remember how much was this toll. This toll was like $10 or something like so. I'm like, nah, no more money, like in coin or so on. And I'm freaking out now. So the line is progressing, and I'm me next. And I'm sweating now. I'm like, jeez, don't lock me up, jeez, please, oh gosh. And then we reach the stop. And we reach the person, and I'm in the car like, I'm just look up, and the ladies are looking at me like, and they're like, so I don't, oh, you don't have any money? It's fine. I'll take a picture of your license plate and then bill it to you, okay? Have a nice day. You need to restart your ass. Intermission. Alright, we're back. So after she told me to have a nice day now, I'm just like, oh, well, you need to be worrying. So I was late because I was freaking out. I swear, I don't know what was gonna happen. But they just billed it to me and I'm like, alright, cool. And we continue driving. Alright, so time passed now and I'm ready for reach home. And 4 hours pass and I'm looking at the GPS. I'm like, bro, 4 hours kind of passed, how much distance may I have left. And the GPS is basically like, oh, you just have like 1 hour and something left. And I'm like, alright, fine, whatever. So I'm there driving, and I realized that hour was just moving every time. Every time I drive, the hour would just start get longer until I basically 2 extra hour add on. So I'm getting tired now. I'm really getting tired. So at this point now, I'm listening to the GPS and it told me to take another major It told me to take another major exit and it was like stay left. I'm like, okay, alright, cool. Stay left. Wrong turn. And now the GPS is like, yo, that's the wrong turn. And I'm like, maybe it's the wrong turn. Then I'm like, oh, I forgot, I keep doing this foolishness. So I'm driving and right now I'm kind of freaking out because I'm driving for a while now and it not recalculating, not giving me a new destination, not giving me a new place to go. So I'm like, GPS, recalculate. And GPS looking at me like, and I'm looking at it like, and it's looking at me like, I'm just like, yo, I'm freaking out now. I'm like, yo, where me there? Me lost. Me don't know where me there. And I'm freaking out. GPS not telling me nothing. And I'm just like, yo, please hurry up and recalculate. Then it finally recalculates and it's like, take the next right exit on the right. I'm on a 4-way highway right now. And I'm on the leftmost lane. And the exit is right. This is me. And the exit is right here on the left. And it just tell me. So now I'm just like, crap. I'm panicking, I'm looking around in the mirrors. I'm not seeing nobody. So I'm push the car over to the rightmost lane. All of a sudden, just hear beep beep. There's a car in my blind spot, and I'm just there like, jeez, I'm peace, me like catching an accident. So gone over, but I made the exit. Thank you, made the exit, and then after that, basically smooth driving until I reach my auntie town. I'm like, finally, me reach auntie town. Me soon reach. You know, take my turns, this and that, and I finally end up on my auntie lane. This is like 6 hours of me driving now. Never drive for more than an hour in my life. 6 hours of driving now. I see my auntie house down there, so. And I'm driving, I'm like, yes, thank you, finally. Boof! And I look at my side and I realize I'm gonna lick off somebody. Like, somebody was parked on the roadside. I'm gonna lick off them side view mirror. And I'm like, no. But I didn't even stop. I don't know if me lick off them side view mirror or I just like lick it out of position. But me never stop to find out. I'm just continue drive and then make eye contact with somebody who did sit, and I'm like, I'm just a drive. I'm just going to auntie house, just a few houses down, and I'm like, I've come 6 hours far from where I am. And so me decide to lick one. So I just went to auntie's house and I parked the car. I blew. Auntie came out. I'm like, hey auntie, and so on. My auntie was surprised because again, nobody knows me that I drive. She's like, wait, I drive the drive and so on. Yeah. Call my mom, told her. She's like, wow, really? Seriously? Yeah. It was really cool. I'm really tired. Legs were like jelly walking. I was like, yo, what is that? What was that? That was crazy. Yeah. When I got inside, my auntie, she moved the car inside for me. And honestly, for the entire night, I was just like waiting to hear the doorbell ding dong or somebody and knock on the door. You know, but no one came that night. Apparently, I never lick it off clean, and it was just out of position, so they probably just fix it back. But the next day when I woke up and I was supposed to drop back off the car, it was the fastest me ever drop off one car. Get in that car, drive so fast to the place, drop it off. Came back home. So after this point, if anybody come and them say, yo, me here said this and that, and it's a Jamaican neighborhood too, so it's not like me could have say, could have put on a Jamaican thing and try threaten them, because them probably would have more Jamaican than me, and then me don't know what to do then. So yeah. So after that point, now if anybody came and they were like, yo, me here say, are you the little car? I'd be like, with what car, sir? They're like, one red car. I'm like, there's no red car here. But yeah, so that was the time I drove from New Jersey to Connecticut. It's a really, really cool thing. I really enjoyed the experience, honestly. It was actually really chill. It's like driving through America, making my way downtown. You know, it was nice. It was chill. You know, it's good to experience things like that once in a while. But there's a guy though at another channel. I think his name is Gavin Davey. Like, I was complaining about my 6 hour drive and I watched his video. He did like 14 plus hours driving. 14 plus hours, how much mile? I can't even calculate it, but basically I'm driving from Florida to, where is it, New York or New Jersey or Connecticut? One of them somewhere. But I'll see if I can link that video to his channel so you can watch the madness and so you can understand how my thing is nothing in comparison to his thing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. Please just subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Leave a like for this video. Just leave a comment. I love responding to you guys' comment. Thank you for supporting me so far and supporting this channel and this little mini series I have going. Remember, I'm trying to get to at least 500 subscribers, so you know, just make that work for me. Share my things sometimes when you see me on like Twitter or Instagram. Just hit a little retweet or a little share on Instagram story. Thank you for watching this episode and come back next week for a brand new episode of TTI.